diamonds are forever. They are all I need to please me. They can stimulate and tease me. They won't leave in the night.
Welcome back to Diamonds Throughout Time, where we continue our journey through the early modern period. I'm Ms. Diamondz, your host and guide. In today's episode, we'll explore the shifting centers of the European diamond trade and the rise of diamond manufacturing in the major commercial hubs. The early modern period saw Europe emerging from centuries of instability, with populations still recovering from the devastating effects of the Black Death in the mid-1300s, which wiped out an estimated 40 to 50% of Europe's population. The impact of centuries of warfare, including the Crusades and regional battles, had further depleted populations, while the Inquisitions led to the massacre of tens of thousands. Despite these hardships, Europe began to rebuild, propelled by cultural exchanges facilitated by merchants, migrations that brought new skills and knowledge, and the rapid spread of information thanks to the printing press. As trade flourished, bourses, or exchanges, became the hubs where merchants met to conduct business in everything from spices to precious stones. These centers of commerce were essential in developing local financial markets and shifting power away from the guilds of the medieval era, opening up opportunities for more inclusive trade. Venice and Bruges dominated in the 1400s, but by the 1500s, Antwerp took the lead. This would shift further as Amsterdam and London rose to prominence in the following centuries. The diamond trade, among other commodities, would thrive in these changing centers and set the stage for the global diamond trade we know today. By the start of the early modern period, diamonds began making their way more consistently into Europe, largely due to advancements in maritime technology and expanded trade routes connecting India to Europe. This supply surge, alongside growing demand for precious stones, gave rise to a fledgling diamond industry in key European trade centers like Antwerp, Amsterdam, and London. As the Portuguese were the first to establish sea routes around Africa to India, Lisbon became a critical entry point for diamonds before they traveled northward to the bustling trade hubs of Northern Europe. Political shifts, like the rise of the East India Companies, particularly the Dutch and English, also redirected the flow of diamonds, with Amsterdam and London gradually overtaking Antwerp in the diamond trade by the 1600s. In the 1400s, Venice was the dominant center of the European diamond market, though Bruges had briefly rivaled its position earlier. The Venetian Republic's decline after the Ottoman Empire captured Constantinople in 1453 and later Cairo in 1517 weakened Venice's access to key trade routes, and its diamond industry faltered. Despite this, Venice's trade in diamonds remained significant into the early modern period, though it was eventually eclipsed by Antwerp's growing influence. As the Portuguese established their sea route to India, Lisbon quickly became an important trading center for diamonds in the early 1500s. Diamond manufacturing began in Lisbon by the mid-century, although it eventually declined by the end of the 1500s. The Portuguese Empire's absorption into Habsburg Spain led to stronger ties between Lisbon and Antwerp, aided by the steady importation of diamonds from Portugal's colony in Goa, which helped Antwerp stockpile diamonds and solidify its place as a diamond trade hub in Europe. By the 1500s, Antwerp emerged as the beating heart of the diamond trade in Northern Europe, thanks in part to its strong ties to Habsburg Spain and Portugal. Antwerp had a small but growing diamond manufacturing industry at the end of the 1400s. In 1483, for example, the official profession of being a diamond cutter had been established, and by 1515, the Diamond Trades Foundation, as one of the city's recognized industries, had taken hold. By the late 1500s, Antwerp was home to more than 50 diamond manufacturers. Guilds played a major role in regulating quality and controlling membership, but the industry continued to expand despite external challenges, including the Dutch War of Independence and the Spanish occupation of 1585. Antwerp's prominence as a diamond trading and manufacturing center grew significantly through its connection to the Portuguese trade routes. Diamonds from India, carried through Lisbon, would end up in Antwerp, where they would be traded to European elites. However, by the 1600s, the center of European diamond trade shifted to Amsterdam, though Antwerp's highly skilled craftsmen continued to produce fine cuts, especially for smaller or lower quality stones. Amsterdam's rise to prominence in the diamond industry began in the early 1600s, following the decline of Antwerp. This shift was driven by several factors, including increasing tolls in Antwerp and the influx of Portuguese Jewish diamond merchants who had fled the city during the Spanish Inquisition. Amsterdam's more tolerant political climate, especially towards different faiths, provided a safer and more welcoming environment for these skilled craftsmen and traders. The establishment of the Dutch East India Company in 1602 further boosted Amsterdam's trade network, allowing for greater access to Indian diamonds. By the mid-1600s, Amsterdam had overtaken Antwerp as the global center of diamond manufacturing, with hundreds of skilled polishers working in the city. Amsterdam's diamond industry grew rapidly during the late 1600s, though political tensions, such as the rise of the English East India Company, meant that by the 1700s, London would begin to challenge Amsterdam's dominance in the diamond trade. While Amsterdam dominated the diamond manufacturing industry throughout the 1600s, London's rise as a trading center was fueled by the English East India Company's success in importing diamonds from India. The English were also notorious for privateering, that is, intercepting Portuguese ships carrying diamonds, adding an illicit yet significant volume of stones to the London market. By the late 1600s, London's diamond trade was booming, fueled by a growing merchant class, increasing demand from royals, and a burgeoning retail jewelry market. The development of the brilliant cut further enhanced the demand for diamonds, as the sparkling cuts that became synonymous with diamonds today caught the public's eye. The industry in London grew steadily, though the number of manufacturers remained relatively small compared to Amsterdam. By the 1700s, London's role in the diamond trade had become unchallenged, though Amsterdam continued to hold its place as the center of manufacturing expertise. Throughout the early modern period, the European diamond trade evolved dramatically. What began with Venice and Bruges slowly shifted northward, with Antwerp, Amsterdam, and London each playing pivotal roles in shaping the global diamond market. From the first imports from India to the rise of specialized manufacturing techniques, these cities laid the foundation for the global diamond industry we recognize today. In the next episode, we'll delve deeper into the impact of European Jewish merchants on the diamond trade, so stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Diamonds Throughout Time with your host here, Ms. Diamondz. If you are enjoying this series, please like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, sparkle on!